Hey everybody, I'm back. You say you back? Where you been at? I'm everywhere, y'all. Listen, it feels good to be back in the house of therapy. Feels good. Y'all feel good? Cause I feel good. I'm not gonna be in here just a little while. This is my therapy room. I know the deal. The box. Give you some. You know, listen. I'm back. I'm back in the room. It's been a long time since I've been here in my therapy session. You know, some of y'all need therapy, maybe some of y'all need counseling. I don't know what you need, but I'm back. I appreciate y'all stepping up. Look, I'm everywhere, all all screens. I'm back, y'all. I'm back, and I feel great. I'm gonna tell y'all why I feel great. Because I'm back in here, back where I belong. This is my home right here, y'all. This is where I first started creating therapy sessions for y'all. So, what's new? Okay, listen. I'm gonna tell you what's new. Listen, I've been other places, but y'all probably wonder what's pop. What's going on with you. Let us know what you've been up to. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all a little secret. You know, I was reading something. I've been working on things, but the main thing I want y'all to know is that I love talking to you. This is like my safe space. This is a safe space. As we always used to say, it's the safe space. Share this video. When I put it on out there on YouTube, I hope this has made you aware what you're going through, what you're through. Just being me. All right. Listen, y'all. I want y'all to know something. Look, I'm not just on here to be on here, y'all. I'm just on here because I miss y'all. I miss talking to y'all. You probably like, what are you doing? And listen, all right. Listen. Sometimes we got to understand how things work, and you know, it takes recognition. So you recognize that you're going through something, but a lot of people else don't know what you're going through. So I'm just in here. I want to vibe with y'all, but I'm not gonna use that. I got a microphone already in here, y'all. It's already a microphone at the bottom. But look. All right, listen. Sometimes let me take these off. That's better right there. Yeah. Let me be myself for a minute. Listen, I know y'all used to seeing with certain things, but look, it's okay. I'm just glad to be here back where I belong in my therapy. I've been away for a while. I've been working on some things, and I just been trying to find a way to talk to y'all again. So here's the thing: if you've been having some experiences through life, tell life, I don't have that no more. That's not even me no more. I'm not even you're not even gonna put me in that same situation. Tell life that I'm not getting that situation. You're not gonna box me in. You're not gonna just box me in and make me feel some type of way. Or however you talk to yourself, you're not just gonna make me feel some type of way. Because that's not who I am. You gotta tell yourself that. Why I say this to say this, sometimes you gotta know when to hold them and fold them. That's an extra song by Kenny Rogers. You gotta know when to hold them and fold them. You gotta know when to hold your actions and then fold. That means go quiet. Everything don't have to be a competition. Everything don't have to be a comparison. But what ends up happening, we get in this mind frame of mind instead of just being still and being silent. Everything don't need competition, y'all. Everything don't need to be talked about. You don't need to talk about everything. Just let them move. You move forward. You stay quiet and move forward. You know, don't give everybody. Don't give someone ammunition to fire back. If that makes sense, you don't want to give someone ammunition, right? So what you do, you just go silent. That's the best defense against someone that's upset with you. I don't know where this is going, but here's the thing. I know a lot of us sometimes we want to shoot shoot our mouth off and get upset and go back and forth and want to get back at them. Listen, let that go. Don't even get in a shouting match. Just like, look, I'm not shouting no more. You shout, but I'm not shouting no more. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remain go my way, you go your way. It's best. I know sometimes others want to. Somebody playing some music. I kind of went my kid mode. It's okay to go in kid mode because sometimes you need a little playfulness to, get things off your mind. It's okay to be a little playful, a little childlike with yourself. You don't need, you just be yourself. Be childlike, which means, we know what I mean by childlike. Just release and let go whatever it is you're holding on to. Just release it and let the inner child come out. Just relax. You don't have to, just think of yourself and let your inner child come out. Start laughing. Go back to what you did. Think of your childhood and then add it as yourself as an adult and blend them together. Look at your inner child. Say, you know what, inner child, you gonna come out today. I don't care what they thinking. Let them go on a tangent. Let them go, let them go calm down. And when they calm down, then you go do you, be childlike. Get enjoy yourself. Go get you something. Do whatever activity makes you happy. Hear what I said? Do whatever activity makes you happy. And whatever that may be, whether it be running, whether it be painting, whether it be drawing, whether it be talking on communicating, starting a business, whatever it is you're trying to do that what makes you happy. Bring out the inner child again. Like, hey, inner child, let's do what I did as a kid. Bring that essence back. Because when you bring that essence back of your inner child, you start to people start to see the difference. Oh man, he don't argue no more. Oh man, his attitude shifted or whatever people think. I don't know. I'm just, man, he's different. He's not the same person. She's not the, stuff like that. They haven't sent me that email. Yes, still there. Yeah. So just remember, when someone is talking, let them talk. Just listen. Just silent, because they may have something you may need. See, here's the thing I found out. Just stay quiet. When someone's just talking, let them run out of just let them talk out of words. Just see what they are trying to communicate. Because what we end up doing, we try to justify the behavior. Come on. He said, what does that mean? Huh? What does that really mean? That means you trying to find a reason. You're trying to find a reason why they talking. You trying to analyze or determine or something. You trying to figure out what they figuring out, but you gotta let them speak. So when they speak, then you unpack it or you break it apart. Then in your mind, you compute. Don't overthink. No, take the overthink out. Throw out overthink. Just in your mind, hear exactly word for word what they are telling you, word for word what they are sharing with you. Because what end up happening, what a lot of people do, they over exaggerate. Like they already assume you said something wrong when they just telling you the information. Is that helping somebody? Did that just register in your registry up here? You already assume, instead of you letting them tell you what it is that they're going to say, let them finish first, and then you can unpack that, and then you, if they want your, when they done talking, then you put in your input. Pause, repeat. Pause, repeat. Pause, repeat. See, pause, and then repeat back. Oh, this is the way you're saying it. They may not understand it at the time, but then they may like, so you heard every word, and then once the word get in you, once you download it, you said download. Once you interpret or understand, once you hear completely what they said, then you determine how you received it, and then you pass it back. Say, oh, did you mean it this way? See, rephrase it or redirect it towards them. Hey, is this what you meant? Then you add in there a little bit. Don't add too much to it. Just let it be what it is, but just redirect it. So that way, when you redirect it, then you're going back to what they heard, so they know that you heard them. Because I used to do that a lot. I used to say things and try to analyze it instead of just hearing the complete information. Get all the information first before you break it apart. Because what ended up happening, a lot of people try to overanalyze something. They don't get all the information first. I used to do that, but now I'm at a point where I can just interpret just by listening for the first 5 minutes. But many are not able to break things apart. Why? Because they don't know they don't know how to comprehend. And it's not your fault. It's just that for years you've always and you always came to an assumption rather than an assimilation. You said, what is an assimilation? Okay, and let me help y'all with that part. You said simulation. I know it's fresh, y'all. Come on. And simulation. Okay. I'm gonna help some of y'all with a simulation. Like in simulation, yeah. It's like a process of taking fully understand information or ideas. So it's a process of taking and getting the full ideas. Like just getting the full ideas, a process, and then getting the full idea. What is happening with people now, they don't get the full idea of what someone is saying. Like they'll process it, but not process it the right way. They'll process it their way. Like when people come to me, or like family come to me, like parents or something, I always try to not process. I process it first. Then when they finish talking their words, then I say, "Oh, is this what you meant?" See, you're rephrasing what they are giving you. You're rephrasing. You're not assuming. But see, some make an assumption. It's called an simulation. Process the idea first and then simulate. Process the whole idea. That's what a simulation is, y'all. Process it, which means get an understanding first before you speak. A simulation, understanding the idea first before you make an assumption. Because what happens is so many people make an assumption before they process and get an understanding of what the next person is trying to tell them, how they relate the information. So when someone related in that way, then you be like, you know what? I'm just gonna try to understand. Oh, redirect the question. Oh, is this what you? This is how you're saying it? Like, can you elaborate? Can you tell me more? I do that with family, and they don't know why I'm doing it because when people try to explain things, let them explain it, and then you when they're finished, then you redirect. Oh, then you rephrase it. Oh, is this what you meant? Once you get the understanding, now there's no assumption because you heard exactly how they addressed it. Is that making any sense to somebody? You're not assuming. You're addressing how they process, how they in, brought the information. It's called receiving. You're receiving. They the sender. You're the receiver. You ever heard of that? Sender receiver, and then you become the sender, and they become the receiver. Just think of that as a picture: sender and receiver. Okay, who's the sender? Who's the receiver? Once you the sender, the receiver, the sender sends to the receiver, and the receiver sends it to the sender. And it's a process. That's a simulation. You're getting an understanding of what somebody is telling you, and getting the idea. You're taking their idea and you're processing it. You're assimilating. It means you're taking apart and processing. A lot of people can't process. They don't know how to understand information. So you got to come to their level because they're on a different level. Maybe in their mind they think you're getting it. But when you listen long enough and break it down in the process and you assimilate the idea and get an understanding, then you can redirect it and say, oh, is this what you meant? See, redirecting the question, there's nothing wrong with it. Some people can't process certain things. They don't know how to redirect things or redirect the information or ask the right question. So once you get all the information, y'all, once you get it, then you process it in your mind, you break it down for yourself. And then you say, hey, is this what you were talking about? Or you can write it down. Listen, here's another tip. Write down what they told you. Just write it down. Write the date and the time. Because at that time, you can go back and replay what they said. Remember, you said on this date at this time, this, and then you give them a question, and then they be like, "Oh, you wrote that down? Yeah, because this is what you said. I remember it on this date. That's what you said. It'll help you understand. It'll help your learning process. Because sometimes I have to write things down. When people talk, I have to write it down because the more you rehearse it, the more you'll remember. Writing it down will help you remember. So when they bring it back up, then you'll know. Oh, you said it on this date. Excuse me. Sometimes you have to write it down to get a better understanding of what people are trying to tell you or relate to you. Because sometimes we get the idea, we'll make an assumption, we'll analyze. That's logical. But when you assimilate and process and write it down, that's sensory, that's hand-eye, that's memory. Your memory will improve, your conversation will improve. That's how you build connection or a better understanding of someone else, because they may have information, you may be processing it, but what ends up happening is, y'all, let me share this real quick, and I'm almost done. Look, I gave you two words: in simulation and assumption. Sometimes people say it's the same thing. In a simulation, understanding of ideas, but how you process it is the way you are listening to how they interpret things. You're getting their interpretation. And here's what a lot of people do wrong. They assume that I understand you. No, make sure you get the full idea of what they're saying. Don't just get half and then you start overlooking the whole idea. If someone's telling you something, just sit there and listen. Listen silently so you can hear exactly what the information they're giving you. A lot of people make the mistake. Oh, they think they know. No, don't assume. Just process it. Understand completely what they're saying. Because what happens is, what ends up happening, y'all, I used to do this all the time. I used to overthink it. Tell me you didn't overthink it. Just tell me you didn't overthink it. You didn't. You become the inner critic. Uh-oh. Somebody didn't catch that. You become the inner critic. Uh-oh. You said, what is an inner critic? I'm explaining. See, people, when people hear that, yeah, what does that mean? I'm gonna help somebody. You become the inner critic. Nobody see. I look up things. You become the inner critic. You become the inner critic, the negative you become the internal voice that judges and demeans oneself. That's what inner critic is. You demean oneself. You have the negative inner critic demeaning oneself. You said, what's demeaning? Okay. Okay. You demean oneself, right? You start already making assumptions about them, right? That's what some people do. You said demean. Some of you, it's like you're the inner critic. You demean or cause one to lose or cause loss. So you become the inner critic. You start analyzing and you demean them and you discredit what they are saying, but not getting the idea or the full idea understanding of what they're telling you. The way you process is not how they process. So you demean them or you become the inner critic. You start thinking in a negative way instead of getting the full idea of what someone is explaining or addressing at that moment. You got to write it down. Listen, write it down so you won't get that inner critic. So this is how you're going to improve and how you improve your relationships. You will get rid of that little inner critic. Say, you know what, inner critic, not today. You can say that. Inner critic, no, not today, inner critic. Today, I'm going to process it and use my assimilated mind to get the full idea and redirect it and write it down. Then that way you can receive and talk to them better. I've learned to get rid of my inner critic because this is what happened. I used to have an inner critic every day, y'all, the week. And guess what? I got rid of that inner critic because that inner critic makes you be negative towards what someone else is saying. And they're not even talking about that. I had to get rid of the inner critic. That way you won't demean or you won't make things look negative in a negative way. Then you'll start to understand who you are when you talk to that person. Then if they're talking, right, just let them talk. Don't be the inner critic. Oh, okay, I already know what they're about to tell me. No, get rid of that inner critic. Tell that inner critic you got to go. Push that inner critic. Get it. Throw them out the door. You got to go. Goodbye, inner critic. Out. Kick out the inner critic. And when you do it, guess what happens? You start feeling better. You start looking better. You start looking younger. You start feeling younger. Oh, that inner critic, man, he was that inner critic got to go. Then you throw out the inner critic, throw him out the door. He throw that inner critic out, that inner voice, because you listen to another voice. That's not your voice. That's the inner critic. They looking to accuse or assume, make an assumption or accuse that you already know what they're saying. And they haven't even told you the full idea before you got to understand it. And I used to do that inner critic, but I had to push that inner critic outside. I kicked him out. You got to exit inner critic. You got to go. It's time you got to evacuate or you're evicted. Evict him. You the owner of the inner critic. You got to get out. Don't listen to that voice. Get rid of that inner critic. And guess what happened? You'll start feeling better actually. Like, you know what? This week I got rid of that inner critic. Once you get rid of that inner critic, then better opportunity and better things will happen between your connections with people, even family members. The inner critic will come up because you're so used to them rejecting and not seeing who you are. But once you get rid of that inner critic, they'll see it. Oh man, you look like you did something different. That's what, if you hear that, that means you got rid of the inner critic. I'm telling y'all, once you get rid of that inner critic, man, you're gonna feel lighter, you're gonna feel much happier. You're gonna see the changes in you. The inner critic, okay, inner critic, not today. I'm gonna listen to what everybody gotta say. Then they'll start seeing you for what you really are. You're not just a listener, you're actually looking at them and seeing them in their understanding of who they are. You're not changing them or anything. You just see who they are. Just let them be who you are. And then you'll build a better understanding, even with family. That's them. They'll change when they can. That inner critic is gone. Uh, that inner critic, don't just let them speak words. And then once you see them speaking, then you'll understand that they've always been there to help you. You know how many times I think I had an inner critic. I had to make him vacate the building. You got to get out of here, inner critic. That inner critic, man, come in and oh man, look what they about to tell you. Um, Already assumption. Don't even know what they're talking about. Didn't hear one word that person said from family members. Because family members, let me say this true. Sometimes you just got to remain calm or take a 5 minute break. You got to distance yourself so that way you can come back and reinvent and breathe, because breathing helps. Sometimes you got to breathe. You need air. You need oxygen. Let them finish talking and then you exit out to go get some air, because there was times I had to get air because I need to figure out and come back with a new mind, or go for a walk, go to the park, go walk somewhere, walk far. The more you walk, that inner critic gonna disappear. And when you come back, then you be like, okay, you can really see where they're coming from when you're walking. Do bike riding, whatever it is you like to do, whatever activity makes you do that. No, listen to. I want y'all to hear me. Do what makes you better understand people. Because sometimes we don't really understand people, but that's the human connection. But don't let it overwhelm you. That's what I mean. Don't overthink it. Don't overwhelm yourself. Let the inner critic go. Tell, hey, inner critic, you gotta vacate. I'm evicting you today. Out. And once you kick that inner critic out, guess what? Then you're gonna feel happier. You're gonna feel joyful. You're gonna smile more. I had to kick the inner critic out, y'all, too many times. You gotta go, inner critic. You being vacancy is up. Your contract is over. I need you to go so I can understand who I really am, and your real self will show up. Like, oh man, I've been this inner critic been here. So when you evict him or her, you got to get out. That inner voice got to go, and then your real other voice, the one that's the correct one, will show you, hey, this is the way you do it. See, there's a one voice you should listen to inside of you. And if you hear that gentle voice, that small voice, listen to it. Hey, you should try it this way. Hey, maybe maybe you should write that down. It's yeah, that voice. Maybe you should write that down. Want once you once you once you send that idea to that company, want look, don't respond. You don't have to respond to everybody. That voice. Hey, you don't gotta push play and respond to every email. Maybe one or two. That's the voice I'm trying to tell you guys. That voice. Hey, you don't gotta give everybody access to you. Don't respond to everybody. Okay? Maybe one. Just give feedback, text them, and then come back to it later, and then you read it first, then you send it. Because that's the voice I want y'all to understand. That voice right there is the best voice. Because guess what? It's helping you really see the change. It's helping you see how you grown or develop. See, the development of a person starts with your thoughts. So if you thinking that, so you know what, I'm gonna write that down and get rid of it. Put it in a piece of paper. All of them throw away. Don't let nobody see it. Just write it down. You don't gotta let people see what you're thinking. Just write it down. Say, hey, you know what, I'm gonna write that down. And once you write it down, then people are like, oh, you wrote that down? Like, yeah, I'm gonna write it down. Boom, and throw it away before someone reads it. Or if they do read it, just say, you know what, I wanted to put this down because this is how I was feeling. of what was going on. So I didn't want to be an emotional wreck or something. It's okay to explain, but don't explain everything. Don't over explain. That's one problem that inner critic make me over explain what I'm feeling about everything. If people don't understand you, hey, it's okay. You okay at the end of the day. In the end of the day, they go their way, you go your way, and part ways, and you don't see them. Probably next year or next week. You don't know when you're gonna see them again, but you will maybe later on see them, but not right away. Not 2 weeks later. You done saw them, and then 2 weeks later they don't see you. You like, you know what? It's okay. Let it go. That's how you become free. You release that stress, and then they looking at you like, man, what is he doing? Is he wasting time? They ain't seen you in 2 weeks, so you don't have to explain. Just say, hey, I've just been taking care of myself. People, they want you to give a whole explanation. No, you don't have to explain. Say, listen, I'll get back to you in a little while. I have to take care of some business. You can shorten the conversation. I'm learning to cut off conversations because I need to take care of me. And sometimes people don't understand because people go by what they see and not by what you're really doing. They only go by what they see. So you got to work on yourself. You got to take care of you. How you going to take care of what's around you if you're not taking care of you? You got to take care of you first. Is this making sense to somebody? Take care of you first before you get any conversations. Listen, don't enter no conversations if you feel in some type of way. If you quiet, stay in your thoughts and be quiet. Because when you started over explaining, that drains you. That takes energy and effort. Because people like conversation, but you have to cut some things off. You have to cut some people off for you to figure out to deal with you. Because at the end of the day, you need quiet time. You just need time to yourself. You know, you need time to yourself. Excuse me, y'all. You need time to yourself. See, people they want to validate our attention. Like, people are looking for you to give them attention. You don't have to give no one attention. You don't have to give them attention. But when they seek it, to say, you know what, you seem like a nice individual, but I have to go. Conversation done. Because there are some nice people in the world, but you gotta wait for the right ones to come your way. And when they do, just like, hey, I see you, but I gotta go. You what I learned is you don't have to waste time over explain 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, exit. Okay, I'll see you next week. Boom. You did your intro. You did. I know it's something called 8 steps of conversation. You said, what is 8 steps of conversation? Okay. See, these are new things y'all never. 8 steps of conversation. 8 steps. Okay. 8 steps of conversation. What does that mean? You say it's called 8 steps of conversation. You said, what does that mean? They have this in what's called 8 steps of conversation. All right. So it say initiate the conversation, listen actively, be open any question, share your perspective, acknowledge the person's viewpoints, clarify any misunderstanding, stay on topic, conclude the conversation. Those are called 8 steps of conversation. You can initiate the conversation, introduce yourself, right? Okay, and then you listen actively. Listen to the person's thought without interrupting. Listen to their feelings and their thoughts without interrupting. Open-ended questions. Encourage a deeper discussion about understanding them. Share your perspective, clear and respectfully ensuring your points are concise. Acknowledge the other person's viewpoints to show you value their input. Clarify any misunderstandings by summarizing what you have heard, asking the confirmation. Stay on topic, maintain focus, and avoid digressions. and conclude the conversation. Summarize key points and expressing appreciated for the dialogue. That's it. That's it, y'all. Called 8 steps of conversation. A temporary conversation from the main subject. It's called 8 steps of conversation. 8 steps of conversation. Those are the steps. You don't, you just go over and then you engage and then you clarify and you redirect and then you go back over anything like did I miss anything? That's called 8 steps of conversation. So many miss that because they don't know the steps of conversation. You don't need a long dialogue. 5-10 minutes. A 5 minute friend. Stay for 5 minutes. Say introduce yourself. Get the main point of what they're saying. Understand it. Make it concise, which means make it narrow. Make the conversation very narrow. Narrow it. Let them understand where they're going and don't interrupt them. And then once you get what they're saying, say, okay, did we cover everything? Is there anything else you need to tell me? And then when they keep telling you, the reason why someone keeps telling you, because they want to make sure you don't miss the point, the main point of their conversation. It's called 8 steps of conversation. The main point of their conversation is that they want you to understand and engage and just listen so they can summarize the points. I know someone that's like that. She's always analyzing, always detailed, always concise. Analyzing, detailed, and concise. Those are three main things that many don't really talk about. Detail, concise, and analyze. I know one family member in his house that does that. I know one. Detail, analyze, and concise. They have three main points. But the 8 steps of conversation, a lot of people don't know how to cut off a conversation. But I know one person that does. But I'm not going to just put up names because they if they are hearing or watching. This is the 8 steps of conversation, y'all. When you do these 8 steps, you check it off the list. Some people just want you to hear them without interruption, but you got to see where their ideas are going. It took me a long time to learn the 8 steps of conversation. I'm still learning. You know, I'm still learning. I'm still learning the 8 steps of conversation, y'all. I'm still. Do you know 8 steps of conversation work with any conversation? 8 steps. Learn the 8 steps of conversation and watch how your conversation will get smaller. You want to narrow the gap. Narrow. You know what I mean by narrow the gap? Oh boy, I'm explaining today. You know what I mean by narrow the gap? Okay. He's like, what's mean narrow the gap? Okay, so you narrow. Narrow. Okay, it's an idiom. It's called narrowing the gap to lessen the distance. So you won't disqualify nobody's viewpoint. It's called narrowing the gap, lessen the distance. That's how you digress things. It's called digression. You lessen the distance. You close the gap. Lessen the conversation between, and then that way you'll go your own way because the conversation will die out. The reason why a lot of people cannot leave a conversation because we're meant to connect. We're human beings. We have to connect with other human beings. Just the way of life. We have to connect with other human beings because we're not meant to be here by ourselves. Do you know we're not meant to be here by ourselves? So we have to connect with other human beings. That's why we're here. That's why we're here on the planet to connect with other human beings. We're not meant to be by ourselves and do things by ourselves. Whether people notice or not, we're here to connect. That's why I say 8 steps of conversation. You have to narrow the conversation, close it before if the conversation die out, move along. Once they stop talking, you stop talking. Okay, it's time to go. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Because what'll happen is you become the portal or import for other things. Do anybody know what I'm talking about? You become the import, which means they will add more to the conversation about their situation. You don't want to know too much about their situation. Just learn a little bit. Hey man, I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if they have questions, yeah, but like, okay, I gotta go. And you close the gap. 8 steps of conversation: introduction, tell a quick story, you know, engage a little bit, listen to what their problem is, interpret, and then you keep going. That's it. The 8 steps of conversation is very helpful. You guys should practice it and watch what happens. Okay, family, that's today's therapy session. 8 steps of conversation. Listen, it was so good to see y'all. Welcome for my stream again. And guess what? Be a better version of you, whatever that may be. Have a blessed day. I'll see you next time, y'all.